You're listening to the Into the Woods podcast with your hosts, Dermot and Michael. Let's get into it.
Wonderful chase by Hinshaw.
Cox again. I cannot believe it. Dacos nearly runs out of room. He's goal. Jamie Elliott has won the game of footy for this famous club. Slap for Nick Dacos. He's going to be the hero. The little champ is going to pick the winner.
Here's the Degoe moment. He unloads. Bang! You need your stars. And Collingwood stars just went and wrenched the cup back.
If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. For Spotify and Apple listeners, a 5-star rating would be greatly appreciated. Make sure you hit the bell icon on any of those platforms to be notified as soon as new episodes are released. You can find us on X at Into the Woods Pod and on Instagram at Into the Woods Pod 10. Thanks for your ongoing support by helping the podcast grow. Go Pies! Welcome to Into the Woods. I'm your host Dermot, and for the next hour or so, we'll be talking about all things Collingwood. Once again, I'm joined by Michael. How are you, Mick? You fucking idiot.
Good, thank you. Let me get this right. Love you, my man. Love you, my man.
Excuse me?
Well, that's what all the young people are doing. I listened to some of the Blues podcasts during the week, as I partially do after they lose, which is most weeks. And young men these days don't feel inhibited at all about expressing their love to complete strangers in a public forum. So I thought we'd incorporate it into our pod here. Love you, my man. I might roll it out in the panel show next week.
Can you address why you're wearing my sunglasses?
But they're my glasses now.
I left them at your place last week.
They're
mine.
They're now my glasses.
There's just I don't want to forget them again.
Remember last year, for an episode or two, we started that take care of yourself, take care of your family at the end.
No, I don't.
Remember, because I had heard it on another podcast? I'm gonna bring that back. At the end of each episode, it's going to be take care of yourself, take care of your family.
Is your Twitter picture still you wearing those sunnies?
Yes, it is.
You look like a disgusting old creep wearing them.
Nobody's ever looked better in the history of looking good than I did in that photo.
Well, you honestly, my all-time favorite Twitter comment, I've got it in my phone somewhere, screenshotted it, but it would take me too long to find, is when that guy said, bro, you're like 70 years old, keep your shit opinions to your podcast or something like that. It's just you think you're so fucking cool with your son, he's mouthing off at everyone, but you're pathetic, mate.
Well, I put it to you. Go and have a look at this photo, the photo in question. You told me that I'm not cool.
At Stan Magro.
Right.
Stan Magro. All right. I want to say, so last night, right? And you're gonna have a go at me because I'm about to mention my girlfriend. And you can't mention her because you're trying to not be a loser.
What I was going to do is I was going to have a little horn, and every time Herman mentioned his girlfriend, I was going to honk her, honk.
What, 4 times in the last year? Oh, you're right.
Get it over with.
So she came over last night. She never watched Collingwood with me, right?
That's your girlfriend. Just to make it clear to the viewers. Okay, you're in a relationship with this woman. Okay, she's your girlfriend. We want to make that very clear. Keep on going.
Fuck, you're an idiot. So
because you're not a loser.
Coming from the guy that just sat there with their sunglasses on and spends half his time mouthing off at people on Twitter. You pathetic little worm. Anyway, so she never watched Collingwood with me before, so I looked at the fixture.
Oh, you're still a couple?
Yeah.
Oh,
so.
Jesus.
Because we're moving in together in November, so she's going to have to...
Because she's your girlfriend.
She's my girlfriend. So
she's your girlfriend.
So she's going to have to get used to watching games with me. So, all right. So I looked at the fixture, irrelevant, I thought, which game is it safe for her to watch with me? West Coast at Marvel. That should be a nice 100-point win. I should be relaxing. I'm not sure if I have a girlfriend anymore.
Oh, Dermot, why did you let her watch it with you? I could have told you not to. That was ridiculous.
I thought it was the safest game.
Oh, seriously. Dermot has coined another new swear words himself just from having watched Collingwood over the years.
No, she was all right. She loved it. It didn't turn out the way I thought it would. At halftime, I was not in a good mood. Let's just put it that way. I wasn't in a good mood. Even after the game, I still wasn't exactly happy.
Yeah, we'll go on to something else, but really, you should have spoken to me before you actually acted on this idea. Because I can tell you better than anybody, it's not a pleasant experience watching football.
Well, she's a Richmond supporter, and we're going over to Melbourne to watch Collingwood Richmond together later in the year. So hopefully we put up a bit of a better fight than that. But all right. Anyway, let's get into all the hot topics.
We've listened to the wisdom of Sir Winston Churchill and the brilliance of genius Albert Einstein. In the 60s, we heard the great JFK. Now, all the great minds are talking footy.
All right, Michael's still in disbelief that I that I put myself in that situation, but it's all right. Anyway, hot topics. Oh, last night. Like, we're 10 points clear top of the ladder. Let's just take a deep breath. It's fine, but far out. Has there been a more frustrating and worse win that you're witnessed? I'm going to say nearly ever.
Oh no.
Well,
there's been plenty. We often pull out those type of games against what's perceived as weak opposition. But as McRae said after the game, well, look at their recent record. They're not getting blown away. West Coast.
Can you move a little closer? You're not talking into the mic.
Do you want me to say that bit again?
No, I'm sure they heard you, but just, now you're a bit close to me. Now the picture isn't even. So don't worry.
Before I did this podcast is half an hour late in starting. I've got a busy day because I've been working with Spielberg here. Does that look crooked to you? Just sit down and record.
Something does not look right about the setup,
Your
David.
head doesn't look right. That's what it is. Your head's crooked. Okay, keep on going.
Right, so it was a difficult watch last night. I don't care what you say. First v 18th at home, not a traditional home, but still in Melbourne, against, I reckon, close to the worst team I've seen in my lifetime. They are shocking. And we put out that performance. Like, we are the dominant team of the competition. They are pathetic.
No,
and 29 points is not good enough.
No, I think you're thinking of you've got in your mind the Eagles of the previous 5 years or 3 or 4 years. It's not the same. They are getting a bit better.
I don't think they are.
They are getting.
I heard Fly say in his press conference that he thinks he is, but I think that's just him being respectful.
No, they're getting a little bit more. I wouldn't almost say competitive, but just not as crap, if that's a correct term. Not as crap. But look, we didn't do ourselves any favors at the selection table.
Oh, are you about to too fucking tall?
Yes, I was just going to say too tall, but I should incorporate the word fucking.
What? No, what's that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like so, McCreary goes out and West comes in, which is fine. I think I called for his debut, but it has to be like for like. Like, you can't have him, Membry, McStay, and Myercheck all in the same forward line. They'll just run in the first half. The Eagles were just running it out of the back line so easily. But you want to retain it.
You want to know the most frustrating thing about that? They were intercepting everything still. That's what happened when you got 4 keys. Like,
I don't know.
That's
that's the other thing.
I said to you midweek, because I saw people online, track watchers and other people that put a bit of content out and just the average person on Twitter saying, I think Charlie West is going to come in for Bo McCreary, just a straight swap. And I said, I called you and I said, do these people know anything about football? Do they know how a football team works? Like we're not going to go in with 4 key forwards. I'm not sure the last time I've seen any team going with 4 key forwards. Like, did they even do it in the 90s when they were like absolutely the key forwards are at their dominant best? Was there ever a team with 4 key forwards?
No, not off the top of my head. No.
Like, I personally love the 3 tours in the Triple M's, and I really wanted to see Charlie West debut, so I was happy for one of them to get rested for West. I know you personally think that even that's too tall. I disagree, but that's your opinion. And I've listened a little bit.
Pure talls. If you could have, if you had somebody who was good on the ground in the air, like a Degoe, that's different.
Yeah, but just like
the guys who
traditional,
are predominantly all just talls can't bring a lot to the ground. No, I don't like that.
I think most people are pretty happy with the 3. There's the odd person like yourself and the boys from the Rants. I've heard they're a little bit unsure about that setup as well. The 3 talls, But the four tours were just insane. And then when I was seeing people on Twitter say that, like days before the actual team was named, that, oh yeah, West is coming in from McCreary, I was just thinking, these guys don't know football. They don't know football. And then all of a sudden, teams come out and they were right. I mean, maybe I don't know football. Maybe you don't know football. What's going on? Why is there four tours?
Based on last night, maybe the coaches don't know.
Maybe
because McRae basically conceded it.
He did.
Wrong.
I was about to say that in the press conference.
In the press conference, he conceded they were wrong because you talk about intercept marks, and we couldn't even stop them. Other than McStay, the other guys aren't what I call kind of leapers at the ball. Like Myercheck and Membry, they don't leap at it. They're strong in a pack situation. They can bring the ball. They can mark in a pack situation. They're not leapers, so they're not going. That's probably why we couldn't stop the intercept marking.
We need to move. We're moving away from that. That can't happen again. The four tall forwards. I don't think it will.
No, I don't think. But I was thinking, I reckon there's a whole generation of footballers who will look back in 10 or 15 years and say, we made our debut against West Coast. They're the West Coast debuters. So many guys these days, they bring him in for West Coast because it's the perfect game to debut players for.
They're shithouse, exactly.
Well, I'm talking about over the last 3 or 4 years. They are getting better.
No, they're not.
But
well, tell me why we're talking about the four tours, I should say. Charlie West, how did you see his first game? Obviously got subbed out in the last, but
I was calling for him to be subbed out. Wasn't great. Well, wasn't great. I hear that he's in. Did a lot of hard things. What's that stat?
He was number 6 for Collingwood for pressure acts, and he missed most of the last quarter as well. So he could have easily been top 4 or 5 if he stayed on. So he was out there and he was trying and he was competing.
Oh yeah, but they had so many different. They were going to so many different options. Yeah. Had there been only the 3, we would have probably seen more delivery.
He may have, and he kicked that nice goal, and that was a good moment, and that got us up and about because we were flat at that point. So
he was okay.
So kick that goal, that really kicks us, but it didn't help when you got 4 key forwards, right? You got them all there, and you got no crummers because McCreary's injured, Schultz is injured, and then Bobby Hill's a bloody late out. You got 3 crumbing small forwards out of the team in the same week. When you've got the 4 key forwards, McCreary is maybe not much of a crummer, but you know what I mean. Like he's still one of our main smalls up in that forward line. So it was just,
and they obviously they bring guys like him bring the pressure and Schultz bring the pressure. I mean, Bobby should do it more often. He should be equipped to do it, but he doesn't tackle that much.
But we should have brought Hayes in if we were going to go.
Oh, that's right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, should have brought Hayes in.
Like he's played 2 games against difficult opposition with Melbourne. Oh, not difficult, but this would have been his easiest.
I think in retrospect they know they made a mistake. So Unfortunately, we got away with it, but. Yeah.
Well, if it was against a better team, do you reckon? Well, I was going to say, do you reckon we would have got away with it? But then again, we probably wouldn't have done it against a better team, would we?
Nah.
I don't reckon.
Probably not. No.
All right. Well, we'll stick with the key forwards. Brody Myercheck, 150 games. What an outrageously good pickup he's been for us.
Yes. Been very good.
25-year-old key defender from Port Melbourne in the rookie draft. Get him over as just a bit of depth. And I still remember well when he debuted. I remember we had a couple of injuries to keys. I can't remember who the keys were. And I remember reading, I actually remember where I was when I read that Brody Myercheck was playing. I was just going for a walk down the street and I looked at the...
People always remember where they were when Kennedy was killed and Myercheck debuted.
I don't know why I remember this. I just do. I remember looking at my phone. I'm here, Brody Myercheck. Oh, that's the key defender. Oh, God, we're trialing him as a key forward. That's fun. Well, this is going to be good. And then, all these years later, 5-time leading goal kicker, premiership player, just an absolute champion of our club. And we couldn't... He's just held that forward line together ever since 2018, hasn't he? Because until now, we've got McStay member now, but before then, it's been a one-man show up in that forward line. Especially Elliott with a lot of injuries too, and Fox's form being up and down.
Even while McStay's been there, McStay's been missing for large chunks. So last year and the year before, he still held the forward line together. But I remember the first time I saw him on the sports section of the news, and they just showed Collingwood training, and he was actually running around and interviewing somebody, and you could see him doing laps in the background with a couple of other guys. Well, geez, that guy's got enormous thighs. His legs were huge. I can't remember what I thought much, but that's the first time I saw him. I remember how freaking big his legs were.
Creepy old man with the sunglasses looking at
other men's legs because love you, my man. I've got it written down here so I don't forget. Fluffy Mom,
So, but no, he's when you talk about the best value pickups in recent time, like we talk about Crisp. Everyone talks about Crisp, the famous steak knives and the Dame Beams trade. Darcy Cameron gets mentioned now. We basically got gifted him from the Swans, but
Sam Murray.
we paid a second round pick to get Sam Murray.
Sam Murray.
He hadn't played a game for Sydney. They picked him up as a rookie.
Yeah.
He hadn't debuted for them. Then we traded to the second round. That was really. But Checkers is up there with those two, isn't he? He's got to be. He could even be ahead of them.
I was going to say something about Sam Murray, but I don't think I should.
No, please do. The listeners demand it. What have you got to say about Sam Murray?
Well, the reason he came down from Sydney to Melbourne was he was acting as a drug mule.
Oh, good one. That's fine. How'd you think of that?
Sorry, no, let's beep that out.
We're not. I can't be fucked, baby. We're not beeping.
No, in case I didn't say it softly enough.
No, we're
I
not.
retract it.
No, you don't.
It's retracted.
No. But yes, Checkers. He's up there, top three. Rank them for me. Rank Chris, Cameron, Myercheck in terms of best value.
Oh, this is a question we had noticed.
Yeah.
Crisp. I would go Crisp 1. Yeah, he's been great. Finals. He's been a great finals player. That's no disrespect for the other two. They've been great also. Crisp 1. I'd have to say Myercheck 2. Because a key forward, they're harder to kind of come by than a ruck. Like, ruckmen are easier to replace. You can always get a competitive ruckman. So that's what it is. Chris, Myercheck, Cameron. You?
I would go Myercheck 1 only because he's been our only key forward basically between 2018 and 2024. He's basically been he's basically been our only key forward. So without him, we'd be screwed. Crisp 2 because Crisp is the better player. I have Chris as the better player over Myercheck, but I think Myercheck's been more important to us. So Myercheck, Chris 2, like you said, great player. All those games in a row hasn't missed. Great finals player. And Cameron number 3, he's done it. He's really, really done it for the last 2 years. This year and last year, he's been an absolute superstar of the competition. He was very serviceable in 23, and he had a breakout season in the second half of 22. But his actual 2 great seasons, that's all that there's been so far. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty more to come. But yeah, and he could push up that list right now, number 3. But God, we've been absolutely blessed with those types of players.
And does Crisp now hold the record for consecutive matches played exclusively having played for Collingwood now? Because when he beat Steins' record, like 6 of those games he'd played for Brisbane. I think we're now.
Well, Geelong was our last loss, and last night I heard them say that we'd won. Is it 6 in a row? No, I think it's 7 in a row now.
Yeah, so it must be at the stage now. I think that's it's important to me anyway. He holds the record exclusively as a Collingwood.
I think he does. Yeah, I think he does now. All right, Pendlebury. Was he best on last night? Was Nick best on?
We let's cover up my.
Well, let's.
Julian
we don't need to. You don't need to tell me how many votes you got. It's obvious that you've given Pendlebury votes because if you hadn't, then I'm going to axe you from the podcast. But he's just unreal. I know we talk about him almost every week, and it might get a bit boring, but we just need to show because one day we won't be able to talk about him. One day we'll be on this podcast, and Pendles will no longer be running around. So let's just enjoy it while we can. I think last night was his best. It was against West Coast, but it was the best game he's played for the year, which is saying something because he's been very good.
Yes, I've got him in my votes. Very high up. Ride the pointy end. Yes, ride the pointy end. Yes, he was very good, wasn't he? Very good. Just the time and it's incredible how he does it. I would love it to get a couple of footy experts, which not us.
Well, we are. Hold on. we were on the page.
Yeah, we're in the age.
The age newspaper.
Yeah, we were. We were in the age newspaper. But get a couple real, I don't know, like a Hodge guys at the very top end of analysis. Mick McGuan. How does he do it? How does Pendlebury he has been tackled a couple of times as he's gotten a little bit older. But there was a stretch of 10 years there where they couldn't lay a glove on him. Now, I think I've said before, the guy, to mention the rant again, we will, and we'll give them their due. They were theorising, and I think I've said this, that they reckon what he does is he kind of holds the ball out and as if to feign he's about to handball so that the would-be tackler thinks, okay, he's about to dispose of it. I'll just hang back a second and guard space. Just keep the zone. And then, of course, he doesn't, and then he buys himself another couple of seconds while I suppose he's scanning for an option. That's as good an explanation as I've heard, but I'd like a really deep dive analysis of how he does it.
Cool. Brownlow night. Is it N Dacos 3 votes or S Pendlebury 3 votes?
Oh well, to my mind, Pendlebury 3 votes. Yeah, I think. Well, you're preempting stuff, but Dacos, I've got him at very high too. But I just thought he was a bit. He didn't hurt the opposition as much as he normally would with his possessions. He was a bit fumbly as well. A couple of handball receives, he fumbled. Um,
I think they all did, other than Pendles,
yeah,
really. Like
yeah,
it was a really frustrating night.
yeah. So no, Pendlebury for me.
Uh, I I I would be I would be happy to see Pendles get the 3. I reckon I'll give it to Nick. Just
Oh
give
yeah.
it to Nick Dacos.
Well, who knows? They'll have their default position of Cripps before they realise that he didn't actually play for either side. They just got a rubber stamp when they put him down number 3. And if they remember that he doesn't actually play in the game, they'd get rid of it. But yeah, who knows? Who knows how the umpires working out how the umpires are going to vote is an impossible task.
Um, Tell me what you thought of Charlie Dean's game.
Right.
Oh, because we haven't spoken about this.
Oh, Charlie Dean. Well, I don't remember him taking many intercept marks.
I doubt he took
No,
any.
I don't think he took any. There was one point I saw. Yeah, he just made a bad decision. The ball was on the boundary line. There was a couple of Collingwood players and a couple of Eagles players grappling for the ball, and he did well initially to make it spill free, but then he kind of didn't cover. It was Baker because he was grappling, and he kind of left Baker about a metre away in space. He kind of had his back to him, and then the ball was going to Baker. He's kind of turned around, and Baker's just a lack of awareness in that situation. That he, in that situation, he should have been hard up against Baker. But just, I'm not sure about his decision making. Didn't do him seem to do a lot wrong, but he was just uninspiring.
I think he just got pushed off it too
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
He would just. I looked at his game last night. I thought, oh, he's one of these guys that's just too good for VFL,
Yeah.
not good enough for AFL. In the sort of Braden Sire, Callum Brown kind of mold. Like he's not as bad as Callum Brown. He was shocking, but in terms of like Callum Brown was a good VFL footballer.
Yeah, he was a good dude. Yeah, he just hasn't physically developed much either since he come to the club. He's still kind of underweight for a. I would like to have seen him put on, at least a little bit of weight. Yeah, I found it disappointing.
I think it's Sullivan too. Like he tries so hard, so I feel bad bagging him. But
Sullivan was okay.
He kicked a nice goal, 2 goal assist, but he's just not. He just lacks a bit of polish. He just lacks a bit of polish.
And yeah, he's not one of those guys. Great VFL player
and
transition.
Yeah, and like I don't want to try to say you'll get into Serge's VFL report soon, but
have you got it?
I emailed it to you this morning, you stupid old man.
You don't check my emails. Why didn't you tell me?
Because I said to you, you're in charge of reading the VFL report.
I apologise, Serge, on behalf of Dermot. I wasn't aware he'd sent it to me.
You've got one job to do, and that's the VFL report. That's all you have to do. Have you got it?
Okay, you keep on talking.
So this is a debacle. But Sullivan, I just don't understand. When you've got a guy like Tom Mitchell playing reserves, I don't know why we keep on holding off. I don't understand it. Tom Mitchell in the VFL yesterday, thanks to Serge, sent.
Oh, I don't have it.
Oh, for God's sake.
Just read it from yours.
So Tom Mitchell, he had the 28 disposals, he had 4 tackles and 8 clearances. Like, he's just doing this consistently every single week in the VFL. I don't understand why Sullivan, as much as I like him, as hard as he tries, I don't understand why he's continuing to get a game of Mitchell.
Well, this is probably his just version of his pre-season. He's probably doing a pre-season, Tom Mitchell.
How many games do you think he's now played in the VFL?
Oh, 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
I think it's been 7 or 8.
No.
Here you go.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
Hold on.
VFL report. Well, you're going to have to pull your weight to look.
Okay.
So you don't have to read it all. You can just.
Do you want me to read it out loud or just?
Well, just give us a bit of a rundown of what the Surge said, and for why you're looking at what you want to read, I'll just give the listeners a bit of glimpse into Tuesday night coming up. We've got our next panel show this upcoming Tuesday. It'll be out late. We were recording at 7:30, so it probably won't be out till quite late on that Tuesday. So Wednesday morning, it will definitely be there. And the Surge, he'll be back. We love the Surge. And 2 new panel members as well. We'll keep that a bit of a secret. And I don't want all these people screaming, well, what about the Grub Man? We love the Grub Man. He'll be back in August, so don't you worry about that. So this Tuesday night, the panel show, Mick will be there too.
Yes, Pies by 9 points. 9-10, 64 to 10-13, 73. Okay, go to the highlights. Mitchell was our best after quarter time with 28 disposals, 4 tackles, plus 8 clearances, as Dermot just said. Hayden Kennedy played a very good game, kicking 2 goals, 14 disposals and 7 marks.
Do you rate Hayden Kennedy, Michael?
Well, wasn't he an umpire? Hayden Kennedy, is he an AFL listed player?
No, I just wanted to see if you pretended that you knew who he was.
Well, I had to say the reason why I said his name twice is because Hayden Kennedy's in the umpire. But yeah. In a depleted and inexperienced defence, Joel Cochran, so he's the new guy.
The new guy. Yes, the new guy.
Had a great game intercepting and rebounding, 14 disposals and 5 marks.
So that he was our first pick in last year's draft. Yep.
Mahoney and Rowan Steele, great contributors. Good spread of goal kickers, 7. Good even performance spread from our VFL players. Gray, Bennett, Murphy and Glover were the standouts. So thank you very much, Serge. Appreciate all.
You got the overall stats there at the end?
Overall stats. Where is that? Okay, player stats. Okay.
No, I think that. Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
can you show Serge a little bit more respect? And you've got one job. You're the VFL man on this podcast.
Respect for Serge. Who I'm not respectful is people who send me correspondence without telling me they're sending me the correspondence. Do you think I'm going to look at my emails on a Sunday morning?
But I told you that you're going to start reading out the VFL report. So you think that you would be? So are you going to, now that you've dropped the the Tom McGuan watch? I thought maybe you can actually do something to contribute to this podcast, but you're letting it drop again. Next week you got to be switched on, Mick.
Love you, my man.
So the AFL listed best he's got here. Tom Mitchell, Rowan Steele, and Joel Cochran. Yeah, and then the VFL best, Harrison, Murphy, and Glover.
You know, we're now the stupidest species.
Oh, God.
We've reached a point in history where we're now the stupidest of all species. Some of you may have seen during the week a BBC presenter, news presenter, reading her order queue, and the story was about they've got a heat wave over there, and there was advice from the physicians that certain people are more susceptible to heat stress than others. And one group are people who are pregnant. Okay, people who are pregnant. So the newsreader kind of rolled her eyes and corrected the auto cue.
Oh, I saw this. Sorry.
Saying women. She said, and apparently that created a furor that she pointed out that women actually have babies. So we've reached a point in history where it's now controversial to say that women have babies. So I better not say it again.
I was about to say, you're going to get us cancelled.
You can beep that bit out along with the Sam Murray thing earlier on, if you wouldn't mind. So now the stupidest species.
Now, back to football. Tom Mitchell, does he come in against Carlton on Friday night for Lachie Sullivan? Like, come on. It's frustrating me. It's actually starting to piss me off.
Well, I think he's going to come in at some stage. He will come in. It's just a matter of when. So it's down to their conditioning staff. So they're obviously on the ground. They know what they're doing. They've got diplomas in this area. I don't think either of us do.
Is it just he's just not getting picked because they don't think he's good enough?
No,
is that what it is? Because he's played long enough in the VFL.
I think they're obviously going to inject him when they think is the appropriate time, depending on how his condition and his match fitness or all that. Because of course it's going to be another step up to the AFL when he comes.
Aware of that, yeah.
So that's what I reckon.
It's doing my head in. What about last week? I embarrassed myself. I put this into a shorts that I said, well, obviously Braden Maynard's going to be back against West Coast. Blah blah blah. Well, Fly basically said it himself at the press conference last week. He said, "Oh yeah, he almost got up this week. He'll play the following week." No Maynard. Which is true, everything out of tape, because what we haven't mentioned now is Billy Franson's bloody gone down with a calf. How freaking annoying is that? That's why Charlie Dean's there.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't have this in my notes, but it's a good discussion point. What are we going to do over... How long is he out for? 4 to 6?
Yeah, well, I said to you at the time, calf. Yeah, easy.
So
Easy.
what are we going to do over the next 4 to 6 weeks without Billy Frampton? So is it simply Maynard comes in for Charlie Dean and we just play small? Because like Charlie Dean, I get that we want talls there, but if we don't have the right talls, there's just no point. You know what I mean? Because like Jeremy Howe, we've seen, I've talked a bit about this over and over again. Whenever he gets the responsibility of being the second tall, he just dominates. Braden Maynard can play tall as well. Quainer, like he's not a tall man, but he can intercept and help cover. The only
He's playing better, isn't he?
Oh, he's playing a lot better. But the only issue is Darcy Moore. I don't think he had an awful game last night, Darcy. I think he was, for most of the night, he was actually good. But he had some bad moments again. Panicking, holding that Jack Williams. Like, Darcy Moore, you're an All-Australian Premiership captain. You're a star. This guy's a nobody. Why are you panicking over Jack Williams?
That's a good segue to something I wanted to point out. I was ready to explode on Darcy Moore for that. But having looked at the replay, it wasn't like the free kicks he's given away in the past, like the Charlie Curnow, where he panics and holds an arm. He just lightly put a hand around the waist. So what annoys me, Boak the other day when they were playing Carlton, Port were playing Carlton, and Doherty, Boak was playing deep forward. Doherty slightly put one hand around his waist. Bang, free kick. Yeah. And I've said for years, deep forwards get free kick differently to every other position on the ground. Like every other position. Compare that and compare what Moore did last night to what Dacos was copying the previous 2 weeks. He was being held by an arm, 2 hands on his arms, being held back from the ball on occasions, had both hands wrapped tightly around his waist, had players with their back to the ball holding him off, and yet, very few free kicks is well documented, but full forwards, you so much as breathe on a full forward, bang, they get a free kick. I was ready to have a go at Moore, but really, there was bugger all in that.
Mate, did you not hear Ross Lyon? Dacos is umpired differently, mate. He's umpired differently.
And don't you love the way Ross Lyon just deflects, and the media is stupid enough to take the deflection? Oh, okay, we won't continue to talk to you about another St Kilda loss, Ross. We'll actually talk to you about this very intriguing matter you've brought up. He deflects.
Yeah, it's annoying.
But no, that annoys me. Just don't umpire people differently depending on what position they play.
It still was annoying. And then there was also that one where Darcy, he just got caught holding the ball, just dropped it. Oh, frustrated me. So that's the thing I'm most worried about if we go in small. I'm not worried about Howe playing as the second tall. I'm not worried about Maynard playing as the third tall. I'm worried about Darcy Moore being the main guy because he plays a lot better with Billy Frampton there. But I just don't think we've got any options. I don't think that Charlie Dean is in this best team. And I think they just need to all play a little bit taller until Big Bill's right. And this is the exact reason why we should have targeted a key defender in the mid-season draft. A mature age key defender from the VFL to SNFL to WAFL or anywhere. And we didn't. We got a young key forward who could be great, but he's like, who knows? Like, he's not going to be right for another few years, even if he is. And we're in the premiership window now. And we got another midfielder who, once again, at least he's mature age and can step straight in if we need him. But we've got a million of them. Yeah. We needed to target a key defender.
Well, we should have done it over summer. I was screaming out for it over summer. Yeah. Is it? How's Blight from Richmond going? He's a strapping young key defender they got out of the WAFL, I think it was. Yeah. And he, at least earlier in the year, he was certainly
I don't think he's getting a game anymore.
Yeah, probably not getting the game. Probably not a good example. But somebody of that ilk.
They're out there.
Imagine if Blight was good, then that would have been the type we should have got.
It's a big worry. It's a big worry. But yeah, I suspect Maynard would definitely come back now. I'll be careful because he probably won't. But he should definitely come back. It should be for Charlie Dean. And we're just going to, fingers crossed, that we can this backline can hold together for the next 4 to 6 weeks without Billy Frampton. Who would have ever thought that the start of the year will be that reliant on Big Bill? Yeah.
Well, against Carlton, I don't think it will hurt us too much because they've got McKay will still be out.
I was about to ask, is he still out?
I got the impression, I can't remember what it was, but I think it's a fairly medium-term injury. I don't think he's going to be playing, but I could be wrong. But
Well, this throws out my whole Dan Houston into the midfield thing. It just can't happen now. So we're back to the 7 defenders. Perryman will stay back. Houston will stay back. What did you think of Houston's game last night? Like when the highlight for me was right at halftime, he kicked that goal. The moment I saw that West Coast player just bombing out, when I even before Houston marked it, I thought, oh yes, he's gonna kick this, because anyone else in the team,
was
they
perfectly set up for him because he had no frontal pressure coming on. He could take a couple of steps and then launch.
And there was any other Collingwood players, they wouldn't have kicked that goal. They wouldn't have had enough time to. He was the perfect man. That was unlucky for West Coast.
And that was an important goal too.
It was, and that's what he brings. He's kicking inside 50, and his long bombs from outside 50 are just, they're still at an elite level. He's been doing it all year. Whenever he's in that position, he's still elite. It's his defensive side. He's not intercept marking like he was at Port Adelaide. He's not getting a lot of the ball. They mentioned it at telecast last night. His non-disposals against St Kilda was his equal worst of his career. And I'm assuming that other time would have been when he was a young kid just starting out. Like, he's just not getting it enough. He's not intercepting, and he's just, I don't know, like, he had the 18 last night, a little bit better, but
he was better. Yeah.
he's not the all-Australian Dan Houston that we've seen the last 2 years.
Yeah, but not too late to become that player.
Oh, no.
It's better, I'd rather him be that player during finals than home and away footy. So
I'm not writing him off.
We know he can do it. It's just, and we know he's eventually going to become that player again. I'm certain of it. Hopefully it's in the back end of the year.
It's not going to be a Lockie Schultz situation where I lose my head and be like, we've wasted this bloody picks on this guy. No, like, Houston's a quality player. He'll come good, but I just want it to be soon. I just really, really want it to be soon.
Yeah. Every time I see Still Sidebottom with a set shot, even sometimes, like even inside 50, say about 45 out, I still shake my head and think, what a miracle that was that he kicked that goal in the grand final. He did it again last night. He had a shot from about 45 metres out. Didn't get anywhere near it. He kicked that goal in the grand final from outside 50, which apparently, I've said this before, he's only done it like 8 times in his whole career, kicked the goal from outside 50. Since then, since that goal, last kind of 2 years, he's had a few shots. He hasn't come anywhere near. That was a true miracle.
He's kicked a few, but they've been on the run.
No, set shots.
Set shots.
That was a true miracle, that goal. He just
did adrenaline.
And did it easily. But anyway, let's not dissect the grand final.
Well, we can talk about the grand final. I'd rather talk about that than the game last night. Jeez, that was a hard watch.
Yeah, it was just a bit boring, wasn't it? Really, just a bit boring. Didn't seem to have any. I have to give credit to them. They had a really good team defense going. I think that their coach, what's his name? We all know who we're talking about. McWalter. I've got a feeling he's going to be good for him. He's going to be a good coach.
Oh, he comes from Richmond. Richmond have a good history.
Yeah.
Fly, obviously.
They were very disciplined in their defence. They shut. I saw Josh Dacos's stats. I wasn't that taken with his game. He did get some votes from me, but not as many as his stats would have indicated. I don't think he was another one who didn't hurt them.
Well, that's a good segue. Should we get into the votes now, or do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No. We can get on to the votes.
All right.
Yep.
It's time for the Julian Rowe medal.
Been pretty good, Julian Rowe. He's been better than pretty good. He's been a forward that has presented for them today.
All right, so
you know what they should have? You know when players debut and they ring their mum and dads, and there's a lot of tears and so on and so forth. What I would watch is if they did the equivalent to when players were delisted at the end of the year. They ring up their loved ones and they break the news to them. That'd be fun.
Have you seen the documentary years ago? The Collingwood documentary had Treloar, Grundy. There was 4 players. Treloar, Grundy, can't remember the other one, and then there was also Jared Blair. And they caught Jared Blair getting delisted at the end. There was the footage of that.
Oh, I do vaguely remember that.
Buck
I remember
him. Yeah,
he brought him into his office.
And he was shitty.
Yeah, I suppose you would be.
I don't think he should have been surprised. I think Jared Blair, he was good at the start of his career. He dropped off a lot towards the end.
His first year was his best.
I think 2011 was quite good as well.
Wasn't?
Yeah, but he barely played in this last year as well, so I don't know why he was so surprised. I think he would have played a handful of games at most. But anyway, I've given 44, and I'm a bit embarrassed that I've given 44 votes. I wanted to chop as many votes off as possible because I don't think we played well at all last night. But anyway, I'll go through them. So I've given 2 to Checkers, Brody Mycheck, his 150th game. He had the 10 disposals, 7 marks, 5 score involvements, and 2 goals. I think he was very good early, especially when we were struggling. So he was easily, we had 4 key forwards. He was easily the best of the lot. So I've just given him a couple of votes. Darcy Moore, I've given him 3 to. So I think overall he played a decent game. I was just a few of those mistakes that I talked about. He probably dropped a couple of votes off because of them. He could have had a 5 or 6 voter, but I've given him 3 votes for his 12 disposals, 5 marks, a team high 9 intercept possessions, and a game high 13 spoils. I've then given 3 players 5 votes. Jack Crisp for his 27 disposals, 12 contested possessions, 7 marks, 6 tackles, 25 pressure acts, and 587 metres gained. Stats there would say he probably played better than a 5-vote game, but I feel like he was quite fumbly, turned it over a couple of times, so I've dropped a couple of votes off there for him. Pat Lipinski is the other one on 5 votes. He's in good form, Lipper. He had the 19 disposals, 22 pressure acts, 7 score involvements, and 2 goals. And I felt like the game the week before against the Saints, he actually was playing well when we weren't. So that's something that I was most impressed with Lipinski. And Josh Dacos is the other one. Like, I agree with you. I've given him 5 votes for his 30 disposals, 524 metres gained, and 5 score involvements. But you think those stats would be more than a 5-vote game too? I just felt like a bit like Crisp. He turned it over a little bit and just wasn't at his normal standard, but still good enough to get the 5 votes. I then give him 3 players 8 votes. Jeremy Howe I thought was just outstanding again. He had the 17 disposals, 8 marks, 6 intercept possessions, and 5 score involvements. Pendles, he had the 28 disposals, 13 contested, a game high 9 clearances, a game high 10 inside 50s. 576 metres gained, 8 score involvements, 2 goal assists, and a goal of his own. And Nick Dacos is the other one on 8 votes. He had a team high 34 disposals, a game high 10 marks. He had 5 clearances, 9 inside 50s, a game high 707 metres gained, a game high 9 score involvements, and a goal. So to recap, Nick Dacos 8, Pendlebury 8, Howe 8, Josh Dacos 5, Lipinski 5, Crisp 5, Moore 3, and Mycheck 2.
Right. Well, no, mine was quite different. It's usually similar, but I've given more votes.
You gave more?
More votes. I've given 53. 53.
That's
53.
a lot for a bad performance.
Yeah, a bad performance. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, we'll read them out. Pendlebury 8, Nick Dacos 7, Howe 7, Long 6. I liked his game.
He had good moments.
Yeah,
he did.
good
He did have good moments, but yeah.
Crisp 6.
Yep.
Lipinski 6.
Yep.
Side bottom 5, 10 tackles.
I did say the 10 tackles, but I don't think he played well other than that. Yeah.
Josh Dacos 4, Mycheck 4.
Yeah, did you?
53.
I nearly gave Cameron votes, but I see you didn't either. I wiped him off because he just wasn't intercept marking the way that he normally does, which is his strength. I think he had a few good center clearances where he just grabbed the ball and bombed it out, but I thought you were going to give Cameron votes when I heard that you gave the 53. But
for those keeping a track at home, which there'd be a lot of them, I imagine. Pendlebury 8, Nick Dacos 7, Howe 7, Long 6, Crisp 6, Lipinski 6. Side bottom 5, Josh Dacos 4, Mycheck 4.
6 is a lot for Ned Long.
No, he was good.
He was good, but he wasn't great.
His stat? Look up his stats.
Well, I think even his tackles and pressure acts are a little bit down, which he's normally leads. I've actually got him up here. So tackles. He had the 6, so equal second most for Collingwood. Pressure acts 24, so that's quite good. Clearances 6. He had a solid game. No, you could be justified. I could have been a bit harsh on, like the eye test said that he played all right, but Anyway, we see it a little bit differently. That's fine.
I was watching the Dogs Swans game the other day, and the commentators were saying Chad Warner, they got him at pick 39.
They did, yeah.
And also, is it Fraser? They call him the
Joel.
Was it?
Joel Fraser, yep.
Yeah. Pick 45.
Yeah.
there's still bargains to be had, isn't there? Even though it's all very much, I heard a few years ago, the likelihood of getting top liners after pick whatever, they're gone because the recruiters have got it down to a science now, blah, blah, blah. You're never going to get a James Hurd at 79, whatever he went for, blah, blah, blah.
2058.
2058. Yes, you can. Judging by the draft only a few years ago.
Well, Charlie West was picked 50th, so
yeah,
fingers crossed. He looks he's so well developed, Charlie West, for an 18-year-old key forward, isn't he? Because even at 18-year-old key forwards, even at VFL level, they take a long time to develop. But he's dominating week in, week out at VFL level, and he just competed so well last night. Like, he didn't start, but like I said, 17 pressure acts. Like, I think we're going to have a good one. And they were calling him Mini Myercheck. You talk about Mini Bond. Charlie West, Mini Myercheck. He does look very similar to him. Similar height, similar build.
Well, hopefully he's got a little bit of growth left in him.
Were you just peeking at the who am I?
No.
Are you cheating?
I'd forgotten all about that. No, I wasn't cheating.
God.
No, I didn't. Well, maybe I was cheating. No, I wasn't cheating. I didn't even focus on what you had there.
You better cheat because you're 7 behind at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to do that, are we? Can I just say there was an incident. I can't remember what game it was. And there's speculation. Remember the last week where you had the petty bump on Chera, and I was vocal on it. You had two players getting to the ball pretty much the same time. One player executes his technique perfectly, steps over the ball, goes in hips first, whereas Chera does exactly the wrong thing, goes in head first, and the guy gets suspended for hitting Chera. Okay, this has happened again. I was talking about it last night after the game. Can't remember who the players were. One guy adopts perfect technique. The other guy adopts diabolical technique, gets hit because of his poor technique. The other guy's going to probably get suspended. The AFL need to do something about this. They can't punish players for using correct technique. Anyway, go ahead. We're going to see who am I, are we?
It's time for Who Am I? Who am I? I've now got a 17-10 lead. We've been pretty close all year.
Okay, can I? How many points do I get if I pick the right answer now before any clues? Will you give me 10 points?
Who do you think it is?
Well, judging by the fact that, as I said, I've given you Jock McHale and Peter Dacos, the biggest names ever in the history of Collingwood, and you're giving me Mick Irwood and Ben Hudson, I'm going to go for Wayne Gordon, our wingman of the mid-70s.
You do realise...
Okay, that's my answer. That's got to be worth 20 points.
You do realise you're giving me...
Wayne Gordon is my answer. Done. Was that all right?
Oh, no.
Wayne Flash Gordon.
You do realise that this is your fault. You giving me Jock McHale was your fault. Yeah, I reckon it's just pure laziness on your behalf because you can't be bothered doing research on actual proper Who Am I's. Am I right in saying that?
Get on with it.
Yeah,
it's not Wayne Gordon. So that's one player down from how many others have played for the club.
All right. So for 5 points,
can you tell me who else it isn't?
I say my questions to you are going to be very, very short in these ones. Normally I have long in detail ones, but
so you're going to give me less chance. Thank you, Dermot.
So for 5 points, I was drafted at pick 79 in the 2006 national draft from Southport for a rival club.
Oh, that is a lousy clue. So pick 79.
Pick 79.
Rival club.
I was drafted at pick 79 in the 2006 national draft from Southport for a rival club.
Southport. So he's a Queenslander.
See, that's
okay. You need to give me a little bit of time. Okay. Pick 79, high pick. He would be. That was. See, you're talking over it.
No.
You let me think, and then you just say a word every 7 seconds just to distract me. 15 years. So he's in his mid-30s now. He would have probably retired, I'm guessing. Pick 79, Queenslander, rival club. And then he obviously went on to play for Collingwood, or was he there as he can't be. He's not,
okay, this is too long.
No. He's there as a senior coach, but no, not for Craig. Of course, he was well and truly retired.
We're moving on. We're going to 4 points. This is ridiculous. I played 71 games for my
You,
first.
you know why we're going to 4 points? Because you know you can't get it at 5 points. You know it can't be got at 5 points.
It can be.
No, it can't be. Jesus. Okay.
You made your one too obvious at 5 points. For 4 points, I played 71 games for my first club before joining the Pies during the 2014 trade period.
The 2014 trade period. How many games for his first club?
71.
2014. I'm thinking, how long's Chris been at the club? I don't think it's him. He didn't play that many games for Brisbane. And did he? When did he get to Collingwood? I don't know. 2014. Did he? Oh, you didn't just wink, did you? Was there a wink?
Maybe.
You did look at the camera.
I looked at the camera, yes.
You did look at the camera. I'm onto something. Okay. Could you repeat that clue? So wait on. So he would have been 18. Bear with me, listeners. He would have been 18 in 2006. So that was 15 years ago. How many years ago was that? That was going to be 20 years ago. That was 19 years ago. No, he's older than Crisp.
All right, this is taking too long. For 3 points, I would what?
Yeah, no, keep on going.
For 3 points, I would announce my retirement in 2017 after playing 56 games for the club.
Thank you, 56 games.
So he was with us between 2014 and 2017.
I'm announcing my retirement from this segment. 2014 to 2017.
He played 56 games for the club and he played 71 at his previous club. So
nobody's going to get this because nobody watched Collingwood play during Buckley's regime. These were his darkest days too. This was the worst of the worst.
I've put a nice little sort of.
Come on, say that clue again. You're desperate to keep this lead. Go on.
No, it's not actually that hard a question. So I've given a little time period here. So I would announce my retirement in 2017 after playing 56 games for the club. So he was with Collingwood between 2014 and 2017. He played 56 games for Collingwood and 71 for his previous club.
Yeah, can you tell me what position he played?
That's coming up.
Oh. What, you're going to tell me after? Oh, Jesus. 2014 to 2017, 56 games, retired at the end of 2017. I'm assuming he's a Queenslander.
See, that's it. So you've got a lot of information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So did he could he have come from Brisbane if he was a Queenslander? Did they pick him up first? You didn't even tell me who the rival club was.
That's coming too.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's been. You do realize it starts off hard and gets easier as you go along.
I don't think it's just getting easier, damn it. This has maintained its level of difficulty the whole way through. That was 3 points, was it? I don't know. I can't think under these circumstances. If I was just allowed to mull over this, as I said, I'd probably get it.
Are we moving on for 2 points?
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
No. No.
No, but this is taking too long. I'm going for 2 points. For 2 points, I was a key forward that could pinch hit in the ruck. I kicked 148 goals during my time in the AFL, 75 of them coming with the Pies.
Key forward. It's not Jesse White, is it? Is it key? That would have been. He's terrible. It really was a terrible period, wasn't it? The Jesse White Bucks duo. I reckon it might have been Jesse White. How many goals did he kick for us? How many goals?
The person that I've got in my Who Am I or
Yeah.
Jesse White?
Well, no, the person you've got in you, who am I?
He kicked 75 for the Pies.
No, Jesse Weldon to kick 75 for us. No way, I'm not having that. If this ends up being Jesse White, I'm going to have a word to that statistician. There's no way he's kicking 75 goals for us. Surely he didn't. So he's a key forward.
Yes.
Could take a run in the ruck.
A little run in ruck.
Just thinking who else was around at that time.
It's always so bloody long when these realize when it's you.
Because if you give half decent clues, Jesus. Well, I risk it for one extra point and go Jesse White. I'm probably going to get him the last one. Jesse White would be the type of person you would pick because you know how he infuriates. You know what do they say? Look like Tarzan, played like Jane. Was he from? He was up there. He had been at Sydney, of course. He had been at Sydney, so he came from Southport.
I'm going to have to rush you.
No, don't rush me. We're going okay for time. What's the time? We got a late start.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten
It's only
today.
12 o'clock. We've only been going.
You know, I went to Pizza Hut yesterday to get all you can eat.
See, I don't get the picks because you tell me things like you going to Pizza Hut. Well, I'm trying to think of who picked 79 was.
There's only two all you can eat Pizza Hut stores in Australia still. One of them's in Hobart.
Yep.
Went there with my mates, but I haven't eaten since then. But so now I'm starting to feel a bit hungry. Finally, at last, like 18 slices of pizza.
My answer is the night field manager at Pizza Hut in Hobart.
I tried to ask him.
That's my answer.
I tried to ask him, the Pizza Hut worker, what the record is for the most slices of pizza eaten, and he just gave me nothing.
This isn't helping me. This isn't helping me.
I ate 18. My mate ate 20. I lost.
Should I take the risk?
I beat my other mate. He had 13. So at least I.
So that's he was there for 14, 15, 16, 17, 4 seasons.
Had self-serve with hot chocolate sauce. 2 bowls of that too.
Would he have kicked
really good
an average of 20 goals a year? Jesse White for the Pies. How many games did you say this person played for us? 58.
Hold on. I kicked 148. I was a key for. Sorry, yeah, that was the question before. 56.
56 games. And you reckon he kicked 75 goals?
Well, I know this person kicks 75
Okay.
goals.
It's not Jesse White. He's not kicking over a goal a game.
Why do you hate Jesse White so much?
No, it's just a matter of fact. And if you say it's Jesse White, I will not believe it. I don't care what stat you pull out. He did not average more than a goal of a game.
Well, who are you picking there? Because
we're going to 1 point. We're going to 1 point.
All right. For 1 point. My original club was Sydney. And during my time at
No. No.
My original club was Sydney, and during my time at Collingwood, I would become the number 1 whipping boy by a lot of our fans. Do you want to guess who it is?
I don't believe it's Jesse White.
So who are you going to say if it's not Jesse White?
Wayne Gordon. Wayne Gordon from the 70s. That's who I think it was. That's my answer. Wayne Gordon. Jesse White. It's Jesse White.
I am Jesse White.
Seriously, I'm double checking those stats.
If you lose at the end of the year by 1, it's going to be the Jesse White debacle.
Jesse White continues to haunt me. Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
That was the longest who am I ever, but it was worth it. I'm crying. Oh God! Have you got anything else? Tips. I've lost the point now. Carlton Friday night, big game. We should get Maynard back. Anyone else that's gonna? Hopefully Tom Mitchell.
I can't. Sorry, I can't focus. I can't. Yeah, I can.
Bobby Hill might be back.
Yeah, don't get me started on personal reasons.
Well, that's not for you to judge me.
Yeah, well, I think maybe it is. Yeah, I think we might. Are we ripe for the picking? Are we ripe? We're not playing that well. You can't pick Carlton over us. I accept
You
that.
can't.
I accept that. But would it be the biggest shock in the world to see us beaten next week? No.
Maybe not the biggest shock in the world, but it would have 2023 vibes when we had nothing to play for and they rolled us. But
Yeah.
they still talk about it today. Remember when Charlie kicked 6 in that game that meant nothing to you guys? Charlie, isn't he going well? What about that last kick of the game for him against Port? It's just,
Oh yes,
yeah.
the one across across the goal.
Yeah, Charlie, go Charlie.
22 points, Pies, win.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I got 21. Why not?
Yep.
Yeah, but it is a bit of a danger game. We're 10. Is there such thing as a danger game when we're 10 points? Because no, I guess there is. You don't want to. You just start taking it easy now, and then all of a sudden they catch you pretty quick, don't they? So
Oh yeah,
we don't
there's plenty of football we could easily lose. Top.
How many games? 8 games left.
Something like that. We got who we got amongst? We got some tough games. We got Brisbane.
Let's have a look. Let's just have a little deep dive before we wrap this podcast up because
Well, why are you looking for that? I was reading the Collingwood article the other day, and down the bottom, this clickbait. I've seen this clickbait for literally years, like going back 6, 7, 8 years. Remember Tiger Woods' wife? See what she looks like now. So this whole time, I've just been ignoring this stupid ad. I finally
you clicked on it.
I clicked on. I thought, well, they're persistent. I've got to reward them for their persistence. So I thought, well, is she transitioning to a man or something? It's apparently big news! Exclamation mark. Have you seen what she looks like now? Exclamation mark. All right. It just sends you down this. You just descend into this rabbit warren of ads in which you just never emerge. You never see what she looks like now. It's just a series of ads.
Google her.
No, but it was just this ad. It was just this ad. And I've literally seen it for 6, 7, 8 years. You know, double exclamation mark.
Right. So we've got 8 games left. So 10 points clear, 8 games left. We've got Carlton, obviously, coming up. We've then got Gold Coast over at Metricon, or whatever it's called now, People First Stadium.
Well, we're going to be missing Billy Frampton that game because they've got all their big forwards.
Absolutely. Yep, that's going to be a bit of a worry. We've got Freo at the G. We can't take them lightly.
Oh, of course not. They're playing well.
Yeah, they're good.
And they played well at the MCG.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, they've beaten Melbourne there a couple of times. Melbourne were a good side.
And then we get the Tigers, so we should get that one done.
Yeah.
Brisbane at the MCG, so that's obviously going to be a bit of a tough one, followed by Hawthorn at the MCG, so it's a difficult run.
Yes.
Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval. I thought our tough run was at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Is this the hardest fixture anyone's ever had throughout a whole
Well, maybe it'll stand us a good stead coming into the final.
And then Melbourne in the last round.
And you just never know what they're going to...
Well, we only won by a point, so...
Yeah.
So we definitely don't want to take Carlton lightly because if we do, then like the only game there where I'd say we're 100% like you would be really confident with is Richmond. Yeah, literally.
Yep.
Like Melbourne, we should.
Yeah, we could easily lose.
Freo, we should. We should beat Freo and we should beat Melbourne, but we might not.
Yeah.
And we should beat Carlton, but we might not. You just never know. But Gold Coast is over there is really difficult. Brisbane, no matter where you play them, they're the reigning premiers. They're difficult. Hawks, I know we smashed them not long ago, but they're sort of bloody Hawks, and they've had it over us for 3-4 decades.
And they got Lewis. Lewis is coming back.
Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, well, very tough.
Like you would almost tip them in that game, and you'd almost tip the Gold Coast over there. So, yeah,
we might be rushing Jesse
White.
Jesse White back for some of those, I reckon. Reinforcement. Jesse White. It's just
1 point. So you've now.
I should have guessed you were going to go Jesse White at some point because you know how much emotion he stirs in me.
No, he upset me as well. But no, you got the margin back to 6 points, and who am I? That's the point. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Any final words? Other than, don't forget, panel show Tuesday. Tune in. Are you excited for that, Mick?
Yes, I am. We got who we got. We got. You've already said who we're going.
We got Serge.
Serge is back. Serge is back. Patty.
I was going to leave it a big mystery.
Sorry, I've blown your cover, Pat.
Well,
I look forward to meeting you, though.
Pat and Paige. We may as well just say it now.
Pat and Paige.
Pat and Paige.
Pat and Paige. Yep.
It's a strong crew. It's a strong crew. Well, I'm trying to look into something that isn't what's it called? What are we using now? Skype's old. I got Zoom. I'm an old man. I'm turning to you. Just again, that freezing was annoying last time. So if I can find something that doesn't freeze, that'd be good. But Tuesday night. So late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, you'll get to hear this version of the panel show. It should be good. Any final words?
Take care of yourself. Take care of your family.
Don't forget.
That's the new sign-off from now on.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channels on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you want to follow our socials, you can find us on X at Into the Woods Pod, or if you want to see Michael in his fucking sunglasses at Magro Stand, and on Instagram at Into the Woods Pod 10. We look forward to doing it again on Tuesday night. See ya.